Yes guys, and welcome from me, this is Championship Manager 0102, a real quick video for you here. It was a video I wanted to do when I next got a chance, and just to have a quick hit on the Knicks patcher. And then I was prompted with a question about it, so I figured I'd answer that question within this video. So somebody's asked me the question about Knicks patcher, do they work on pre-Windows 7? Now I don't know the answer to that, if I'm really honest with you. My gut feeling is more than likely. I feel that maybe whilst Windows XP is still here, there and everywhere on sort of like tower block computers, that being said, there is a way around it. I forget who it was who asked me about Windows XP or pre-Windows 7, but you're not getting the option to run Knicks patcher, and I think I vaguely recall seeing it myself on someone's computer. But in answer to that question, the way around it is, hypothetically, I could do the EXE for you, as in patch it to your specifications, and then just send you the EXE, and you can run it. It will already be patched up, you see. So that is probably the only option. There's also another option. Don't quote me on this. When it says that you can't do it, it says you can't do it. Tell me what other options you've got. Does it just say error? Sometimes you've got to install a sort of framework extension onto your computer. It's to do. I remember having this as well. You needed a framework. I need it sometimes to run my emulation programs for the Amstrad computer. You need a framework, and it works a treat. You know. So let me know, and that's for anybody for that matter. So a quick blast then on Knicks patcher. So the current Knicks patcher, as you all already know, is version 2.30. Now, Nick, as like he does best, he released that in line with the update a couple of weeks ago. And how Nick tends to work is he releases a patcher, and then there's a lot of people that say, oh, but this ain't done, and that ain't done, and this ain't done, and that ain't done. And I just think to myself, there's the feedback, then there's just fucking piss taking. Nick always emphasises, I think he rises above it, to be honest with you. I don't think he ever used to. I think he used to snap back, but I think rising above it is actually more effective. He has got another patch in the pipeline, which I will assume it's going to be version 2.31, and I know he's got some new structures to put on it. I say new structures. I know the Polish league structure is going to be rectified on it. There was another structure, I think it was South Korea actually, and I believe it'll probably do the Italy structure, and then there might be some other bits and pieces. Now, if history repeats itself, that'll be his last patch until the next update. Now, for me, with the update and patches for that matter, it's this one that counts, the proper one of the October, because April, there's never really much on the update in the April update, is there? You don't really get money transfers in January like you ever used to. You know, back in the day when the transfer deadline, like ODB, was March, and that deadline day in March was an exciting day. It's not like that anymore. So let's just really quickly hit then on a few things with the Knicks patcher 2.30. A few things I've I will have covered before. I'm only going to cover the main patches, and when I say the main patches, I mean this lot over here. I'm not going to go into MISC patches. If you want to know about MISC patches, applying patch files, then you can hunt out the other video that I've got. Okay, so the first things first is the game speed. Now, the game speed, everyone's different. It depends how people play their game. You know, some people micromanage it so that they don't actually change it. I like it as ×8. I think ×8 works really well for me. Currency inflation, not everyone has currency inflation. I like to, because I want it as close to real life as possible. A couple of years ago I had it up to 2, and then I raised it to 2.5 to stay in line with today's bullshit transfers. When you see players like that you think are average, bang average players moving for a fucking stupid amount. Change the start year. More about the start year in a moment. Okay, enable coloured attributes. A real simple patch, really. It just changes the colour. I wouldn't be able to play without coloured attributes now, believe it or not. It makes a lot of difference. Enable idle sensitivity. Not really something I really know much about, to be honest with you. I think it's to do with your mouse moving around. I don't know, I could be wrong. Either way, I tick it anyway because it can't do any harm. Disable splash screen. Basically, when you fire up the game, it brings up, you know, welcome to the update, or welcome to SIG games, or kick races, Matt football, blah, 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 blah. Disable it if you wish. Enable 7 substitutions. You'll see that that is actually shaded out. I can't click that. That's because I've got a different patch applied of applying 9 subs and using 5 of them. Actually, I might already be on there, but that's why that is. Show star players. I like to be able to see 3 star players in AI and yourself. Very important one. Obtain jobs easier abroad. That's a massive one because I think everyone knows the vanilla version, it was always a little bit flawed. Change screen resolution to whatever suits you. Now, I don't change mine because I don't need to. I've never once had any issues with resolution, and a lot of people do, and I don't always understand it, probably because I don't know what the difference is, because I've never once run into any issues, so a bit bizarre. Replace the Welsh Premier League with either the English North or the English South. Now, just remind yourselves that this is an irreversible change, so if you are going to do this, make sure you save first so you can restore if need be. But as you can see, I've replaced mine with the English North, and because it's irreversible, that is why that is shaded out. Replace AI tactics with, and you can choose various different AI packs. I don't change this. I want it to be as close to real life and close to the update, so I leave it as is. So they are using the October 2024 AI pack. Force load of all players, not something I would advise. Will slow the game down quite rapidly. Forces all players to be loaded from the database, even if not all leagues have been selected. You still need maximum database set in the games option. Expect this to take a long time to start a new game. It's not worth the hassle. Manage any team. So basically, you could take over a team in a non-playable league. Doesn't really have any effect. Don't know what make executable portable is. However, going back to the very first thing I was pointing out, this attempts to remove. We were speaking about XP, weren't we? This attempts to remove the need of XP compatibility and running an administrator. So you can run EXE from anywhere. Now, it's not really connected to the XP, but it's about the compatibility. So, I'm not sure if there's any effect. I'd check it anyway. Another irreversible one here. Swap South Korea for China. Show hidden attributes. The 4th column of attributes. A lot of people will always ask, where'd you get the 4th column from? That's where it is. Apply known bug fixes. I'm not familiar with exactly what, but corrects bugs in the original code, including unlock your creativity, marking, and positioning clamp, blah, blah, blah. Apply it. Can't do any harm. Disable unprotected contracts. That unprotected bullshit rule on the ODB was a bullshit rule, and it's disabled on my update. Disable CD removal message. It just gets on your tits, don't it? Please remove your CD. Position in tactic condition view. I like that. It just when you're looking at the position on your tactic screen, it has their position as well. How many times have we all done that? Players unfit. Shit, what position is he? Allow closing the game window. I'm not sure why that's shaded out. I'm sure there's a reason, but basically that means that you can close it in the corner, which is good if you've got a bit of a crash or it's all got stuck, but also bad because you can sometimes do it accidentally, particularly if you play in window like I do. Regen fixes. That's always been one of one of Nick's. Forces only teams with less than 45 players. Let's just go back to that. To get regens. Also fixes the issue of older regens to small nations. So basically, regen fixes. Remove the UK free foreign player limit. I don't have work permits on my update, so that is as is. We've gone through these. Hide non-public bids. It's quite an interesting one, to be honest with you. So let's just add to parties regen codes, an irreversible one. Basically, this really supports this regen fixes, sorts out the regens. Restrict players' tactics and scouters. So that disables wibwob completely. You will not get to the with screen and without screen. Sorry, with screen. With ball and without ball. You will not be able to get to them, and likewise, you will not be able to load a tactic. If you check that, you'll know if someone's got that checked because their name that they put in will be in pink. Update names and transfer windows. That is an irreversible one to check. If you want it called the Championship as opposed to Division 2, Division 1, whatever, League 1, League 2, blah, blah, blah. Enable your potential to grow. I would be checking that because I think that corresponds with applying known bug fixes. And finally, this one at the bottom here, apply the year-specific misc patches. Now that's in bolded at the minute, in bolded, shaded, shall I say. Right at the top here, what we said at the start of this section. If you go to change start year to reflect real life 2024, as soon as you click it to 2024, this will be available to check, and it will then be, again, it's irreversible, so again, make your backup. It's something I do because I want it all as close to real life as possible. So that is Nick's Patcher. As I said, 2.31 is due anytime soon. I think he'll probably do it by the end of the weekend, personally. And then I don't think he'll do another one until April, at least April. There was speculation he weren't even going to do one, in all fairness, because Nick hadn't really been around that much. So there you go. The very last thing I'm going to quickly hit on with regards Nick's Patcher, a lot of people, including myself, we have ODB installed, but with a patcher. Now, a lot of people, they say, well, how does that work? How does it work? And I have hit on this before, so we will click on it just one more time really, really quickly. So basically, if you want the ODB, but with sort of coloured attributes, blah, 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 this is how you do it. You install CM, blah, blah, blah. You then, once you installed it, your data files, so the ones in here, you copy them somewhere safe. Just somewhere safe, right? You then, right, do not rename your folder at this point. Really, really important. So you've installed it, it's called CMO102. You then upgrade it to 3.968, which is the official patch that you get from the website. After you've done that, you then go back to that data files that you've put somewhere, you copy them and you put them back in here. And then you paste them in here. Now at this point, right, now you've done that, you're on ODB. It will say 3.968, but you are on ODB data. You then have the accessibility to use a Nick's Patcher, and as you can see, I'm using a Nick's Patcher, which is I chose an old patcher 2.27 because I didn't want to use an up-to-date patcher because there's certain things that I don't want. So I'll show you how this works, right? So let's just get really, really quickly, make sure we get to the right one, and you'll see. This is my Nick's Patcher for my ODB, and you'll see there the removing of the UK free foreign play limit is not checked. Neither is update names and transfer windows. Neither is replace Welsh Premier League, because obviously it's just going to cause crashes. It will cause crashes. The game year 2001, the currency inflation 1. So that's how you do it. So these are not like they're not cheats. They are sort of they're tweaks within the game. So really handy thing, right? Really, really handy thing. And you can apply additional misc patches. Just be careful, even more so when you're applying misc patches on an ODB install. Be very, very careful. Do that at your own risk. Make sure you utilise the save facility. And that's it from me, guys. That is Nick's Patcher. Till next time, take it easy.